Hey guys, it is Friday. Did you miss me? It's been a couple weeks for your benefit. I haven't really been in a great mood. Parts problems, things coming into the shop late, can't get anything done, still waiting for things. Cost of shipping, just things haven't been going really good and didn't want to take it out on my video. So we did accomplish something. Got the 9-inch taken apart for the CUDA. Um, this was set up for a 3 link on it. So we had to remove it and then put some perches back on it. So we get that all cleaned up. And as soon as I get the perches in, we'll get that welded back together and got the center chunk out to have a different gear put in it. And did a little work on Bob's truck here. We went ahead and metal prepped it, started sanding it, trying to get all the surface rust off. So it's got a good head start on that. And next week we'll probably finish that up and get it in sealer. So making some good headway there. Even metal prepped the frame, got it all ready pretty much to be sanded. The Suburban's coming along really nice. Phil's pretty much got all the parts buffed and all the assembly I can do on the front. Made a foolish mistake and forgot to paint this little strip right here red. So I have to paint this on both sides, the red, to follow through. So that one's on me. We did manage to get all the seat backs and the seats all polished out, the doors, the hood, bottom side of the hood's been raptor lined. So it's just a matter of bolting that together. So I am hoping by the end of next week, we'll get rid of that. I'm hoping. Made some big progress on the Firebird. Uh, this car has been something else. Put in the headlight doors, got those done, headlights. Put in the master fuse, wired up the charging system, made the spark plug wires, got those all cut to fit. Got the fan belts put in and installed, ran the battery cables over, installed the starter, put in 2 temporary wires, one to the coil, one to the starter, so the motor can be run in. So we got all the plumbing done, all of the vacuum lines lined down to the modulator for the transmission, put in the oil sender, temperature sender. And these things are kind of goofy in the sense of, the typical Chevrolet, the fuel line comes up the frame rail on the passenger side, and Pontiac puts their fuel pump on the opposite side. So you have to plumb a steel line across the lower cross member and then up to the fuel pump. And then again, another steel line from the fuel pump up here, up to the fuel filter. And battery as well. Pontiac likes their starter on the driver's side, but the battery is on the passenger side. So, unfortunately, the way shipping is, it requires some brackets to actually attach the battery cable to the oil pan rail all the way around. And rather than waiting, I went ahead and made all those brackets and installed the battery cable, got that all finished up. So this is pretty much, short of the exhaust system, it's pretty much ready to fire and run. This, no reflection on the customer. This customer is fantastic. I have no complaints at all. Um, this car, unfortunately, was so far gone that we've replaced 99% of the car. I mean, it was pretty bad. And a lot of it's aftermarket parts and just silly shit. These aftermarket companies, they really need to get their shit together. For example, simple little support rod here, the hole in either end. They can only fit one way. Aftermarket, aftermarket, aftermarket. You would think their own parts would fit together, but when you put that rod up there, the hole is nowhere to be seen. So you then have to take this rod and you go up, chuck it into the mill, and elongate the hole on either end to be able to get enough clearance to actually bolt the thing on. And the customer looks at you like, "What do you mean it took you an hour?" you know. But You would think that a company that was making all the pieces in-house, they would make them fit, but they don't. The aftermarket thing goes on. We've been dealing with aftermarket parts for a lot of years, and we've gotten pretty good at manipulating them and making them fit. But there are some times, especially when you get one that has this many aftermarket parts in it, um, it really starts getting frustrating after a while. You start pulling your hair out because every single part you touch has to be manipulated or moved, twisted, bent, oblong a hole, whatever it takes. Um, but it's an absolute nightmare sometimes to get everything to fit. But we have finally got this down to basically it just needs the exhaust system, and then we'll get it fired and run. And at that point, he's going to take it home and complete some of it himself, and then we'll help him out with anything he can't get to. But it's looking good. I mean, all the plumbing's done. Everything up here in the front is finished. It's pretty much ready to fire, short of the exhaust. So we get an exhaust system on it, and we'll move on. So that kind of wraps this one up. Barracuda, we've been fortunate that the owner of this one, John, he located another parts car. This car was originally done by another shop that he had a problem with, and he removed it from that shop. Well, apparently they had lost a bunch of his parts along the way. So, unfortunately, the 67s and 8s and 9 Barracudas, there's not a lot of parts being made for them. There's some stuff, but not a lot. So when you're missing things like pedal assembly, for example, or steering column, a lot of that stuff's not repopped. Very difficult to find. This happens to be a vinyl top car, so the chrome moldings that were going around the vinyl top were all missing. And fortunately, he searched out and found another donor car, so we can get a lot of parts. So very near future here, as soon as we get this Firebird and that Suburban out of here, we'll start making some headway on that. But I tell you, I got great customers. I mean, Chris here has been able to find pretty much any part I needed. John was located another car. I mean, we've really been doing great as far as locating stuff, but it's just a long, drawn out process. I know you kind of see the same thing here for week after week. Oh, hey, I'm going to get the Firebird out. Well, I'm still waiting for the exhaust. Now, it's supposed to be here tomorrow. So I'm going to hope that next week I'll have the exhaust in this and have it running, and we'll get this one wrapped up. But for the last 2 weeks, I've been in here telling you, oh, well, we're almost done with this. We're almost done with this. And I'm sitting here with my thumb up my butt waiting for parts. It's a nightmare. And that's really the only reason I skipped the last 2 weeks in the video. Tired of showing you the same thing. We did make a lot of progress here. We've made a lot of progress here in the shop. We did get the Firebird, or the Camaro in the booth, and we got a couple little spots on that we're going to touch up, and then that will be leaving as well. So in the very near future, we'll get some space in here, and my intention is to kind of cut down the amount of stuff we have in the shop so we can put more attention on each individual car and get them completed. Because when you spread out this many vehicles, Bob's truck, for example, has been here for quite a few years. I'm fortunate that Bob's not only a customer, but he's a good friend. And he's allowed me to kind of put it aside to get caught up on some of these other things. But it's time to get back on it. So we have a lot of projects going. We need to wrap some of them up, get some space, so we can start moving on some forward progress. These customers that are sitting out there waiting on me, I appreciate you being patient, doing everything I can. But parts right now are a nightmare. Even material is tough to get. For example, I just purchased a 1 quart bottle of rubbing compound the other day. Um, I mean, I haven't bought it in quite a while because we got a stockpile of it, and blew my mind. I mean, the last time I purchased it was probably in the $40 range. A 1 quart bottle was $85. So parts have just gotten crazy priced. The shipping is crazy. Material is crazy. It's very difficult to get some stuff, and it's really slowed us down. And if you're waiting for us, I much appreciate you being patient. We will get to you, and we will put every bit of attention that we put on these on yours. So stay tuned, hang in there, guys, and you guys have a good weekend. We'll see you next week.